Guys, today we're starting with CCNP to CCIE security level of training of your VPN module. In our CCIE security program, we have different modules. Okay, let me tell you few modules. Okay, see, these are the total modules that you guys have to go through in your CCIE security program. In your entire program, you guys have to go through these many devices or modules, you can say. First of all, I recommend you guys to go through ASA. It's not important that if you haven't attended ASA, then you won't be able to understand any other modules. It's not like that. But ASA is just like, somewhere used. So that configuration part, you might not be aware. That's only a worrying part. The rest, everything is fine. FTD and FMC, firepower device. Again, firepower NG IPS. After that, you have a WSA, web security appliance, VPN, ISE, WLC and AP, security over routing and switching, email security appliance, automation, Cisco Stealth Watch, DNAC, and automation 2 times it has come. So these are the total modules that you guys should go through. Currently, in your CCIE security lab examination perspective, if you ask me like what are the modules important over here, I'll say all the modules of your CCIE security are important. In version 5, at least FTD was not there. Your ESA was not there. Automation wasn't there. Stealth wasn't there. Stealth Watch. DNAC wasn't there. But now, in your CCIE security lab examination version 6, you guys are going to get a DNAC, Stealth Watch, even some part of automation will be there. Not much tough because it's the first time they are including some touch, around 2 tasks they will have in your CCIE security lab examination. ESA, like email exchanging, that part you'll have. Some part from routing and switching also you'll have, for sure. WLC and AP, WLC part, AP part will also be there. Some wireless touch will be there. Okay. ISE, very, very important. Entire lab of your CCIE security examination. This ISE will cover around, I would say around 40% of your lab will be dependent on your ISE task. ISE and VPN will cover more points all over the task, plus ASA firewall. Okay, slowly, but if you fail in this ISE section, there's no way that you guys are going to pass. Okay, so take all the modules very seriously, but compared to all these modules, little bit tough you'll find with ISE. So I'll recommend you guys to go with ISE module when you guys are at least done with ASA, FTD, NG-IPS, WSA, VPN, security over routing and switching. If these parts are done, then go with ISE module. So you'll be habituated to take a load of, the securities. Because automatically, what happens, after, attending ASA and all, you directly come to, ISE, you'll feel like, too much hard, too much things to see, because this will be an advanced module. You'll have a different things to see. It's not only a single engine. You'll have a multiple engines combined together and multiple things you have to go through, right? You need more idea about your network, your devices, multiple things. So in that case, I would recommend you guys, whenever you go through all these network devices, when you work through, you'll little bit understand what's the security. You'll have exposures on the security part. Then you go with the ISE part. Okay. See, VPN is like in general. VPN, you have some touch in CCNA also. In CCNP also, you'll have some touch. And then in depth, VPN, you will see in security. Right. So today we are starting with VPN module. Right. Some touch today I'm going to give you guys regarding the CCIE security lab examination, because most of you guys I can see who are joining today just starting from security. For them, I'll give a short 5 minutes introduction. That's it. I won't take more time. Okay. In your CCIE security examination, if I talk about the certification, if you guys want to go for CCIE security track, then you just need to go through CCNA training. Certification not required. Go for CCNP certification. In CCNP, you'll have one module called as a S core. That's your security core exam. In all the tracks, you'll have a core exam that will make you eligible for CCIE security. So compared to previous versions, here the number of certifications are less and even having more validity. Currently, S-Core is having validity of 3 years. Earlier, it was compared to CCIE security theory exam, which was having validity only of 18 months. But now, compared to that you have 3 years. Additionally, what you have certain name given to certification. Earlier, it was called as a CCIE security theory, wasn't having its own identity, right? So peoples were getting confused. Like CCIE theory means, are you CCIE certified? They were like, half, I'm theory certified. So they could not say themselves as any special, name given to that certification. Now, S-Core has been given as a specific name called as a specialist. So you will be called as a Cisco specialist, security specialist. That's basically a certification over here. Entry level, no one goes. You'll go for associate level. After associate, you have a specialist. Associate is no more prerequisite. Directly go for specialist. I'm like, associate is no more prerequisite. Directly go for associate. From associate, directly jump into, I mean, like, directly go for a specialist. Directly go for expert. Guys, please turn off your mic. I mean, associate and entry is no more prerequisite. Directly go for a specialist and go for expert. That's it. I'll not recommend you guys to go for professional level of exams to waste your money. Okay. Those who have prerequisites, those who have like mandatory to do a certifications, those guys will only go for professional, or else skip professional, go from specialist to expert lab examination. Only 2 certifications to do. Theory certification specialist, lab, expert level. Guys, please turn off your mic, all of you. As I told you, in a CCNP security, you have total 7 examinations. I mean, like, total, we have 7 papers. Okay. Out of 7 papers, you require only core exam to do a specialist examination. Elective, you have total 6 elective exams over here. You can see total elective papers you have. And these elective papers are not mandatory to write an exam. See, earlier to do a CCNP certification, 4 papers were required. 4 papers. But now, 1 core and in any one of this, you are CCNP certified, only 2 papers. And additionally, it makes you eligible for CCIE security lab exam as well. No more extra certification to do. So compared to version 5, version 6 in terms of certification is very good. Less certification, numbers of certifications are less, but the modules are more. Earlier we had 4 papers, now we have total 7 papers. This NP, IE is a single examination that you guys already know. Guys, please turn off your mic. Now, coming to the devices, you can see these many virtual devices are required. So you can say around 80% virtual devices are required. Any devices you talk about, at the modules which I told you, right? Like I told you DNAC, I told you wireless, stealth watch, ASA, NG-IPS, right? FMC, FTD, WSA, ISE, all comes under virtual. You don't require a physical devices, all virtual appliances required. For physical equipments, you need these many devices only. And you have some other vendors. So you have like some ASA firewalls physically required. So we are already, into a CCIE security version 6 lab creation. So we are having all those physical firewalls. You need some switches. You need one access point. 1852 with the version 8.3. And some other vendors you need like Windows 10, no need to work with Windows 7. Active Directory work with 2016, and Kali Linux obviously you'll need for performing the attack. Even in your CCIE Security Lab exam, you have Kali Linux to perform some attack. So in our class, I'll show you guys how to perform the live attack, how to use Kali Linux. Even that I'll give you some sort of information. I'll give you some documents you guys have to go through. So that will be a special class wherein security over routing and switching will be there, plus Linux some part I'll take. That will help you guys to understand Linux, plus it will help you to work with Kali Linux as well. Now coming to CCIE Security Lab examination design, this time completely it has changed. You'll have two modules of examination, two parts. One is a module 1, another is a module 2. In a module 1, you'll have a design section. And this time, guys, it's very much complicated. You can say like it's easy also, or you can say like you don't have much preferences over here. Okay, much preferences in the sense task wise design section will be very easy. Task wise it will be very easy because it is MCQ questions. 3 hours you are getting to resolve 30 to 35 questions. Like you guys are writing a theory paper, right? The same way here you will get 30 to 35 questions max, in which they'll give you some scenario. They'll tell, I'm trying to communicate from here to here, getting some issues, see the logs and answer those questions answer. That is MCQ question answers, right? You won't get any devices to execute here in this module, no devices for sure. Okay, so here you will get 30 to 35 questions wherein you have to choose the perfect answer. If you guys are told to choose 2 answers, then you have to select 2 answers, or else you won't be able to press next. Once you press next, you won't be able to come back. Backward navigation is disabled. Scenario based questions will be 3 hours fixed, and you have a point values hidden. In which question how much mark you guys are getting, that's hidden. Initially, few days ago I had taken one CCIE Security Lab examination information class for half an hour. I had taken there, I had told everything brief, how this time examination is going to be evaluated, how the examinations are going to to come, or everything I have told in details. If you guys have missed, then again after some time I'm going to take that class, you guys can attend that. Okay, in that I'll tell you details about the examination, and these even the modules, even the questions also I'll be telling you. Because some information has been already leaked, it's there in a market, might be you guys are not aware of that, or it's not there, but yes, informations are coming now. And we are designing the labs also. Okay, scenario based questions will be there, points will be hidden. But right now everything is not out, so will not say completely the things are out. Okay. In this MCQ questions only, you have 3 hours, that's more than enough. If you know the answers, you can click just in 1 minute one question also. If you go through it, hardly half an hour it will take, right? Do you think after completing your task in 3 hours, means in a half an hour, you have to wait for another 3 hours? Earlier it was like that. In a design section you had to wait for 1 hour for 10 questions. Here it is 30 to 33 questions, I mean like 35 questions. That's why they have given 3 hours. Previously, the good part in version 6 is in version 5 there was 2 more tasks in 3 hours. Troubleshooting part was there, and multi-choice question was also there. 2 different sections, right? So that troubleshooting part is not included here. It's not like troubleshooting has gone. troubleshooting plus configuration and design. I'm like that automation, all those things has been clubbed together as a single one, only 5 hours of task. But earlier there was a separate task, even that was required some configuration, some few guys were failing in that, multiple problems were there. So compared to version 5, you have relief in this section, only MCQ questions. But the unlucky part is, if you complete your task in half an hour, if you submit it, that 2.5 hours will not get added here. You take entire 3 hours and you complete it. You're setting, it's your choice. But if once you submit this task, you're directly into module 2. 5 hours of task, your 5 hours gets started from there. So you have to start with deploy, operate, and optimize, and this is a combination of 3 things. You have to do the configuration also, you have to do troubleshooting also, and you have to do automation also. So these are the 3 things, DOO part, okay, which is of 5 hours, hands-on to your devices, web-based access. Your backward navigation will be enabled. If you, let's say, you want to get into multiple, you want to go back and see the previous section, you can do that. You can verify, everything will be there, even the points will be shown. But condition applies. If you secure a pass mark over here below average, if you secure a pass mark over here below average, you are failed, right? There are the scenarios, conditions, those things I'll show you, I'll tell you in a lab class discussions. Okay, so guys, that's it. We'll not discuss more than this. I hope this was helpful for you guys to understand how your examination is going to come. Okay, now let's get into our CCIE Security VPN class. In our VPN journey, we guys are going to learn a total types of VPNs. There will be around 20 types of VPNs. I haven't subdivided few VPNs over here. Like, first of all, we guys are going to learn about VPN theoretical part. Completely from base, we are going to start. I don't care whatever you know, you don't know. It will be like from zero, I'll be starting. After that, we'll discuss about the cryptographic methods, algorithms, their sizes, right? So once you understand the basic and the cryptographic methods, then we'll start discussing about IPsec. We'll discuss about the protocols like IPsec or SSL or TLS. Okay, such type of protocols we have to discuss first of all. Okay, SSL and TLS we'll discuss later, but initially we have to discuss about the IPsec till packet label, and you have to understand all the basic stuffs of IPsec in depth. Because most of the time in an interview, whenever you guys will represent yourself as a security guy, no matter it is in SOC or it is in whatever field it is, when you say security, as a security network engineer or analyzer or any kind of field, wherever you are going, they will definitely touch IPsec. 50% of your interview will depend on IPsec, and rest 50% will depend on any other stuff. Especially when you are telling you are a security guy, that time IPsec will matter more SSL and TLS. But as a fresher, they might or they might not ask about SSL or TLS. SSL was a protocol, but now it has an advanced form called as a TLS. SSL and TLS both are in a market right now. It's not like SSL is outdated. Still we use SSL, but SSL is no more updated. Now the updated form of SSL you have as a TLS. Till SSL 3.0, it was updated. From 3.0, no more SSL updating. So SSL 3.0 equals to TLS 1.0, right? Starting point of TLS. After that, TLS 1.1, TLS 2.1.2, like that, TLS is being upgraded, right? So SSL we'll see, but SSL has not been outdated from market. It's still there. You have to go through SSL. you have to understand SSL. Okay. After that, we have IKV1, site-to-site VPN with IPsec on routers. So now, first of all, if you don't have a knowledge of IPsec, then you won't understand what is IKV1. If you have some sort of knowledge on IKV1, like under the IPsec, IPsec is actually a collection of protocols. Say, I'm not dealing with IPsec right now. I'm just giving you an introduction to the topics that we are going to cover in our entire CCIE till NP to I level of VPN. Okay, I'm just giving you introduction today. In this, first of all, we'll cover about all these theoretical parts, and then we'll come to IKE V1 site-to-site VPNs deploying between the routers. So two sites will have two sites. On both the sites will have a routers. You guys are good with routers right now. You guys will understand how to deploy the VPNs with the routers, right? The same deployment we are going to see between one site as a ASA, another site as a router, and again we are going to see between the ASAs also. If you know how to configure ASA, then you can deploy another side also as a ASA. So that's your creativity. I'll show you one side how to configure ASA. Now, one side, if you have seen how to configure ASA, then other side also you can replace a router and put ASA, right? So that will be your creativity task. So multiple tasks are hidden here, okay, which I'm not counting as a number. Other we have GRE. First of all, we'll see GRE in a clear text. GRE does not mean encryption. Correct. You might have gone through GRE in your previous classes, right? You might have seen whenever we talk about GRE, the GRE by default, what does it mean? Generic routing encapsulation. It does an encapsulation. Under that encapsulation, what information we have, we can easily see. If we use any sniffer, we can easily see. So GRE does not mean any security. It means it is a logical tunnel. That's it. Inside that tunnel, whatever informations we have, we can easily see. To implement a security over it, we apply a security called as a IPsec. Okay, so we'll see with IPsec also, and with there is some deployment called as a SVTI. It's a separate deployment again. First of all, to understand SVTI, you have to understand GRE. You have to understand about GRE header. You have to understand what is IPsec, what IPsec does, inside how the encapsulation happens. Then you will understand that GRE is also doing one encapsulation and IPsec is also doing another encapsulation. So two encapsulations are happening over here. So is it possible in a site-to-site condition that I can remove one encapsulation of a GRE and then work with IPsec encapsulation and reduce the packet header? I mean, like packet size will be reduced, right? Yes. So how do I reduce the packet size? For that, you learn SVTI, static virtual tunnel interface. Okay. So you'll understand what's a GRE without IPsec, we'll understand with IPsec, and then we'll understand with SVTI. Okay. So three deployments are there. I have included as a single VPN over here. Okay. So that's why I'm telling you, we'll learn more than 22 types of VPNs. Okay. Here I have included as a single number. Okay. After that, we'll learn about, see, once you learn about GRE, then concept comes for MGRE. GRE gives you a concept of a site-to-site concept. And how can I use that GRE communication or GRE protocol to communicate multiple sites? First of all, we'll understand only within site-to-site, right? Then we'll try to understand how multi-site communication can happen using a GRE protocol, right? So MGRE, M means multi-site, GRE. Okay. So MGRE, there was some issues in MGRE. It was not a scalable solution. It was giving a communication to multiple sites, but the way of deploying the MGRE was very complex. Like if I had 5 sites let's say if I have let's say if I have two sites, then I had to add both the informations to each other. If I have a third site, again add all each other's information on each other. Again, fourth site, again add each other's information. So basically every site's information should be on every site. I mean, like, this guy should have information of these three guys. This guy again should have information of other three guys. So all of these guys are having each other's information. Again, if I'm adding one more site, again that site you have to add in existing sites, and all these existing sites also add on that new site. So very complex type of, the configuration was there in a MGRE. So it was quite complicated. It wasn't a scalable type of solution. So they came up with a new concept, advanced format in the same dynamic. I mean, like, they came up with the multi-point only, but in a dynamic way. Why don't I centralize one server and keep all the spokes, I mean, like, clients, whoever is getting added will inform the server, and server will give a route to all the other guys. How to do that? We have a different mechanism. Like, we might be using NHRP mapping, we might be using NHS solution. Different mechanisms are there inside a advanced multi-site VPN. It's actually an advanced multi-site VPN, which is given name as a DM VPN. DM VPN means a dynamic multi-point. Here it was a static multi-point. This is dynamic multi-point. So dynamically I'll assign the access to all the points. I don't need to register, or I don't need to define all those existing clients information. I'll just define the server's information, and server will provide all the other clients information to a new client. So we have a different terms, like we use a term like hub and spoke. Such type of interesting thing you guys will see here. Okay. In this, you'll have different phases. You'll have a phase 1 deployment, phase 2 deployment, phase 3 deployment. Okay. And all these 3 deployments will be in a clear text. Till now, we haven't applied security. Right. Now, to implement a security over this DM VPN, you need to understand IPsec over DM VPN. Now, I told you in this DM VPN, we'll have one server and we'll have a client. Server will be known as a hub and clients will be known as a spokes. So hub and spoke communication. What if one hub goes down? What if one server goes down? Then all the clients' information will not be present, right? So for a backup purpose, I can have a dual hub. So dual hub communication in a DM VPN. It's not a HA. It's not a redundancy. It's not like an active standby. No, it's not like an active standby. Both the devices, both the hubs will be active. Both the hubs will receive a request of spokes. If you capture the packet, you will see, right? If you trace the route, you will come to know, right? But the problem here, but the solution what you have here is, out of those 2 hubs, any one of them is down, at least you have another to take care. All the informations will be present with both the hubs. If it is 2 hub, means dual hub, both will have all the informations, and both are in a ready position only. No matter both are active or one of them is down. That's basically a purpose. So it's not a HA. Very first thing, remove it. Either like active standby or active kind of a stuff. One will have all the information synchronized, right? And I'm like, on one device only will do a configuration. Such type of concepts, you guys throw it out. It's not like that. Both the devices we have to configure equally. Till here, you guys will generally get the equations in your interviews. Okay. After knowing this part, in examination perspective, site-to-site VPN ASA firewall is important. DM VPN also comes with 2 IKE versions. DM VPN also comes with IKV1 and DM VPN also comes with IKV2. So the DM VPN which comes under IKEv2 will come under Flex VPN. So Flex VPN is nothing but it's basically a different VPN combinations, okay, done through IKEv2. I'll do a side-to-side VPN only, but using IKEv2. You can see you have a side-to-side VPN using IKEv2, routing based, policy based, different things we have. Later on, I'll tell you more about Flex VPN, but as of now, you understand a DM VPN which you will understand with IKEv2 will fall under Flex VPN. Flex VPN has a different flavors. Flex VPN is not a different type of VPN. You don't understand that Flex VPN is a different type of VPN. Flex VPN also has site-to-site, also has a remote access VPN, and also has a multi-site VPN. Whatever we are learning here, the same thing you'll be doing here also, but not with IKEv1. You'll do with IKEv2. Then why do we go with the separate IKEv2 VPNs over here? If we are going with a Flex VPN only, then why do we have a IKEv2 separate VPNs? Actually, you can see here, right? IKEv2 on routers, IKEv2 site-to-site with the, again, policy-based or routing-based between the firewalls. We have a separate type of IKEv2 VPNs. We do have IKEv2 related VPNs. But what is special about Flex VPN? See, in short, I'm telling you right now. Here, when you are doing a DM VPN, you'll have a separate set of configurations. Here, when you'll do IKEv2, you'll have a separate set of configurations. But when you'll go in a Flex VPN, you'll find similarity between all these three types of VPNs. 75% you will find similarity in remote access VPN, site-to-site VPN, and multi-site VPN. It means the complexity of commands has been reduced. Three types of VPNs under a similar type of configuration is called Flex VPN. That's it. Flex VPN is not any kind special kind of a VPN, guys. Flex VPN is just an advanced form of your site-to-site remote access and a multi-site VPN, having a similar type of configurations with IKEv2. That's it. So if you know DM VPN with IKEv1, if you know IKEv2 separately, then if you go for a Flex VPN, you understand it. Easily you understand it. Why? Because Flex VPN is nothing but it's a kind of combination of three VPNs under a single type of configuration or similar type of configuration, you can say. Okay. Site-to-site, multi-site, and remote access. Okay. So you understood what is IKEv1 also. I'm like in short, you are understanding types of VPNs that we are going to cover without GRE, with a GRE, MGRE, okay, and DM VPN, in DM VPN with different flavors over here. And then we have IKEv2 with a site-to-site between routers, right? Between the firewalls, we'll also understand, and we'll also understand Flex VPN. Flex VPN gives you a flavor of IKEv2 and gives a flavor of site-to-site and gives a flavor of multi-site and also a remote access. Here you can see we are also going to learn about remote access. See, all these VPNs we are going to cover first before going for a Flex VPN. So if I have to put in order, I would put this Flex VPN at last. Then only other VPNs. I will like at the last I'll put the Flex VPN, sorry. And then only I'll put, before that we have all the VPNs, okay? Okay, let me tell you about other VPNs also that we are going to know. Examination perspective, Get VPN. Since version 3, version 4, version 5, Get VPN is coming in examination. Probability, it will also come in your version 6. Get VPN is a kind of a VPN which is Cisco proprietary, okay, not used with any other vendors. Okay, we have a GDOI protocol used over here, okay, and protocol UDP based 848, I guess, which is used here, which is advanced form of your ISA camp actually. Okay, so here we'll see how to protect our intranet. We basically doing all these VPNs. What do? We protect the traffic over the internet, but we totally mesh the intranet in our internal network. How the traffics will be encrypted, for that we go with get VPN. So it is only implemented with the Cisco devices. Only the Cisco devices supports this. So if you guys are going for a Cisco interview, then only you'll expect this question. Okay. After that, we have iOS CS server. iOS CS server is like, we are making a router to work like a certificate authority. Okay. In a real time, iOS CS server based communication can be with non-Cisco vendors also. I can have a Windows server acting as a CS server. I can download the certificate, or I might send my certificate to CS server that is of Windows. So CS server can be of any vendor, does not matter. But especially in a Cisco, we say we make a router to work like a CS server. And that CS server will have a certificate. So I'll send my identity to a CS server to verify, to encrypt the data. I mean, like, basically there is a communication between the client and the server, right? And then there is a side-to-side communication happening. So if I start dealing this communication, it won't be possible right now. You guys will not understand as of now. So simply understand, there is a certificate authority involved in a side-to-side VPN, or can be multi-site also. So I can do authentication in my VPN based on the certificates also. I can do by using a pre-shared keys also. I can use a digital certificates also. Multiple ways are there for doing the authentication. So basically we use a CS server for the authentication purposes. Okay. So examination perspective, iOS CS server will also be very important for you guys to understand. Since version 3, 4, 5, we had got CS server. We expect in a version 6 as well. Then comes with the remote access VPN. Remote access VPN. Earlier in a Cisco, there was a remote access VPN called as a ISE VPN. This VPN also comes under the remote access VPN, but this ISE VPN is no more present in your version 6. ISE VPN, I'll give you an example. It will be better for you guys to understand why Cisco has came up with the new SSL VPN, why it has come with the new type of a remote access VPN. Like we have a SSL clientless VPN, SSL full client VPN. These are the different types of VPNs which you guys are going to get. And these VPNs are in your examination. Okay. These two VPNs which I have indicated, it's already given in your examination as per my information. So I'll tell you these things, like this type of VPNs, you practice it multiple times as much as you can. Be thorough with this type of VPNs. Okay. So in a remote access VPN, first of all, I'll give you introduction about the traditional type of VPN. Traditional means which earlier it was used, but now not used. What's the difference? What was changes? Like few example I'm giving. ISE VPN was supporting only IKEv1. In IKEv1 also only supporting a Diffie-Hellman group 2. But now today's date, Diffie-Hellman group 24 has come. Elliptic curve path has come. Many advanced thing has come. So if it is not supported, then it's of no meaning. MD5 and 3DS has been cracked by the hackers in 2016 itself. If you say that I'll implement such type of technology in today's date, not possible. Okay. After that, we have SSL clientless VPN, SSL full client VPN. These are the remote access VPNs. I'll give you just an introduction about the ISE VPN, and then I'll go with these two types of remote access VPNs. Okay. After that, the advanced form of your IKEv1 is IKEv2. Advanced in the sense might be supporting a lengthier key algorithms, advanced key algorithms. I mean, like advanced algorithms will be supported, like elliptic curve, uh, ECC type of algorithms will not be supported with your IKEv1. It will only be supported by IKEv2. Right. There are many more differences between IKEv1 and IKEv2. Message exchanges differences are there. Right. So, but IKEv1 having a more message exchange and IKEv2 having a less message exchange does not mean that IKEv2 is not secure. It's not like that. It is secure, it is more faster, and even it has more features also. I'll talk more about it. Right now, some of them who are not aware of IPsec, they might not be knowing what I'm discussing about, because IKEv2 comes under IPsec. Under IPsec, we have two types of key exchange. Key exchange has basically two versions, version 1 and version 2. So how do you work with version 1 and how do you work with version 2? That's it. So how do you work with iOS routers in a routing based VPNs? Now, if I give an example of routing based VPN, what is GRE? GRE is a routing based VPN. Routing table decides how the VPN traffic will pass. Policy based VPN, your ACL decides what traffic will pass through a tunnel. IKEv between firewalls, IKEv2 on iOS router, routing based, right? So I guess this is repeated. Okay. So on the routers, routing based, on the routers, policy based between the firewalls, such type of VPNs you will see, uses of the IKEv2, different flavors. Okay. I'll come back to a types of VPNs also, but this is also a kind of a types of VPNs only. Now, if let's say if you guys are going for an interview, if they are telling you, tell me what type of VPNs you know. If that guy wants to know the list of VPNs, then you will tell this list of VPNs. But in general, we separate the VPNs in a different types. These are the VPNs that can be deployed under those types. Okay, I'll come to that point. We'll come to NAT-T, NAT reversal. Most of the time, you guys will get IPsec questions, SSL TLS questions. You guys will get remote access VPN questions. You'll get NAT-T questions in an interview, and you'll get the overlapping questions most of the time. As a fresher, whenever you guys will go, they'll ask you the questions from this. This overlapping is not in your syllabus. But interview perspective, I'll definitely tell you guys to go through overlapping. Very much important. Real-time perspective, very important. So from my side, I'm including some topics which are not in your syllabus, but important to your interview perspective. NAT-T, very, very important. According to examination, might not or might be, not sure. But real-time perspective, very important. They will definitely some touch they will give you with NAT-T. Whenever they are asking you IPsec, right? In IPsec, they will definitely ask you about a NAT-T. First of all, there will be a NAT-D and then NAT-T. So there will be difference between what's a NAT-D and what's a NAT-T. NAT discovery and NAT reversal. Two things are there. So what's the use of NAT-D and NAT-T in IPsec? That is very important to understand. Okay. After that, we'll see VRF aware side-to-side VPNs. What if I have a VRF configured on my routers? Then if I have to configure a side-to-side VPN. Examination perspective, very important. First of all, you should know what's a VRF. In a VRF also, you have two types of VRFs, VRF Lite and VRF you have. So basically here we are going to discuss about VRF Lite. Okay. So VRF Lite, our VPN will be doing using IKEv1. If you want, you can do with IKEv2 also, not an issue, but you have to understand the concept. Okay. After that, we have overlapping. Overlapping is a scenario wherein you'll do a side-to-side VPN or you can do a multi-site VPN. You can get two sites, both the sites private IPs are same. For example, if you have two sites, right, and if you have a 10.11.11.1 IP here on one host, and this side also you have a 10.11.11.1, I'll say ping the other sites 10.11.11.1. If you'll try to ping from here, if you'll say ping 10.11.11.1, do you think the request will go through your device? No, you'll be pinging yourself only, right? However, you'll be pinging yourself only. Your traffic will not go to a gateway also. Even it won't go to a switch also. Your traffic will be within your device itself.
Yes.
So this is a challenge. This is called overlapping. Let's say I'm a company who is taking a contract for the clients, and unfortunately I found a scenario wherein two sites are having a same subnet, and I have to make a VPN tunnels between them. How would I make that? They will ask you such things. This is called overlapping. Okay, so we'll understand how overlapping works. To know overlapping, your translation concept should be clear. To know about the NATD and NATT also, your translation concept should be clear. After that, we have different advanced things. Like here we have already gone through a remote access VPN. In a remote access VPN, we have gone through a full client using which protocol? SSL. Same thing we can see using IKEv2. After that, we'll learn about Flex VPN. So these are the flavors that we are going to learn in our entire VPN journey. If you guys are good with this, for sure you guys can crack interviews. I'm sure about it. Okay. But you guys have to do more practicals. Okay. Now the first question, guys, for today. Okay. In which scenario VPN is required? Why VPN? My first question is why VPN is required? Tell me.
Interested network to internet to communicate in between two private network or the public.
Okay. Is it only important that I have to communicate over the ISP? Without ISP, can't I have the tunnel?
Yes.
I can. I can have. You do have MPLS flavors, right? So you do have a scenarios wherein you need a VPN connections. In a VPN also, you'll have different types of VPNs. Okay, I'll talk about that. Okay, to send the traffic securely via public network, say it's not important that it can be a public only. Please don't stick to that point. Okay. See, different answers you guys will get, but you have to understand. Okay. See, if I have to communicate between two sites, and if I have to securely communicate, wherever you see the importance of CIA, you understand their VPN has to be implemented. Confidentiality, integrity, and authenticity, wherever you see, these three things are required. Their VPN has to be implemented. Now, let's say if I tell you guys, I have one site, I have other site, right? I have a private IP. Here also I have a private IP. Here I have a public IP. And here also I have a public IP. Over the internet, I'm communicating. Sorry, I'll try to make the connection over the internet. Between this private and between the other private, can't I make the connectivity without a tunnel also? We can. Don't be in this wrong informations like this private and this private can't communicate without tunnel. They can. What if I translate this private IP with some public IP? What if I translate this private IP with public IP and make the connectivity? I can communicate. Okay, translation would be enough for communication. But some of you say translation means security. What type of encryption is doing translation? Tell me, are you encrypting our data? Are you adding a hash value? Is there any authentication with the translation? Then what is the security you are implementing? Nothing. So wherever you see your data, your data has to be secured. Your data has to be you need to communicate your data securely with authenticity. Let's say, see, I'll exchange the data without authenticity also, right? We both are communicating over phone call. I'll call you. You know how I speak. I'll call you. My number is perfect. I know that's a number that I'm calling. I'll call you. How do I guarantee that you are only a guy who is speaking to me? Might be a third guy is creating your voice and talking to me. Possible, right? So this is a data exchange without authenticity. I need authenticity as well with the data. So wherever you see CIA is required, see, this is my logic that I'm telling you. Now, how do you accept that? It's your choice, right? See, say giving an example like whenever I want to communicate over the internet is not wrong. Communicating within my intranet also with the secure communication is not a wrong. You guys create a HA between the devices, right? Let's say this, don't take an example of VPN here. Let's take a HA example between the two devices. This is my HA link. Between this HA link, I encrypt the data. I can encrypt the data. IPsec can be implemented here also. Don't take IPsec means only related to VPN. Please don't take like that. IPsec is a protocol, can be implemented anywhere. For what? To secure your data, right? In IPsec, I can have a confidentiality also, means encryption. Integrity also means hash. Authenticity means can be like I can authenticate both the sites. First of all, I'll know with whom I'm exchanging a data is a genuine or not, right? Authenticity can be in a different ways. Replay protection, multiple things are there which comes under the VPNs. So VPN is actually required wherever you need a data to be protected. One of the scenario is over the ISP or without ISP. These are the scenarios where we deploy. But the requirement of VPN can come wherever you need your data to be secure. Okay. Now you can also say in a different perspective. Now let's say for example, I have a main branch in Bangalore. Okay. And I have another branch in Delhi. Here I have Bangalore, one branch, another in Delhi. Now, guys, I want to communicate between these two branches. So how would I communicate? I'll think about putting the wire between the Delhi and Bangalore. Just think about what's the distance between Delhi and Bangalore. Can be around 3,000 kilometers. More than that, not less. If I put a wire in between, do you think that's a possible? See, not talking about the lease lines. If I'll try to connect a wire between these two, see, I won't say it's not possible. It's possible. But do you think about the cost? Think about cost, think about the challenges, think about the natural disaster, think about the manpower, think about everything. Like billionaires. Okay. So putting a wired connection is not a good solution. Okay. And so long without any break in between, even your data won't be transmitted. Every wire also has a capacity and you can enter into, right? So I don't have a solution here, right? So wired connection would fail now. Now what would I go with? Now let's say I'll think about the wireless connection in between. I'll put a towers in between Bangalore and Delhi. Again, the cost is high. Again, there is a natural disaster. There is a more expensive. Like I have multiple challenges over here and the cost would go very high. It's not for us. I'm not a T1, T2, T3 company that is going to, have envoys all over the, country, then who is going to provide you the ISP connections, or is going to provide you some, kind of a connections, wired connection or wireless connection. It's not like that. So I need a secure communication. See my requirement. I need to communicate between Delhi and Bangalore. My cost should be very less. First thing, my data communication should be secure, right? And I should be able to communicate, and it should be reliable. So I thought of like, okay, why don't I take a help of ISP? So I'll have a public IP over here on this side. I'll have a static public IP on the other side, and behind them I have a private IPs. So I'll create a tunnel between these two sides, right? And through the tunnel, I'll communicate these private IPs, securing my tunnel. Creating a tunnel does not mean security. Creating a tunnel means you just created the path. You understood? You created one virtual path. Creating a tunnel does not mean security. Now, how to protect the data passing through the tunnel, that's your responsibility. Now, that's a place where your IPsec comes into a picture. Your protocol comes into a picture to secure the tunnel. Okay. So this was one of the requirement of the VPN. My VPN requirements can be different also, can be with MPLS also. You guys have seen about frame relay, right? So if I say based on the OSI reference model, if I say we do have a layer 2 VPNs, we have a layer 3 VPNs. Layer 2 VPNs like frame relay and all, I can say as a layer 2 VPNs, MPLS atom, we can say. And here we can say like the side to side VPNs, multi-side VPNs. The communication over the ISP, we basically called it as a layer 3 VPNs over here. So basically we guys are going to learn about the layer 3 VPNs, okay, which we are going to secure the or create the tunnel over the internet. So you guys can you can tell a types of VPNs based on the layers also. Now you can say a VPN in a different method also. I can create a VPN. It can be a policy based or it can be a routing based. Policy based means we'll use a ACL. It means we'll write a ACL. In that ACL, I'll define which source to which destination, which protocol to communicate. So everything will be decided by your ACL to communicate through the tunnel. Through this tunnel, whatever the interesting traffic will pass, that will be decided by whom? ACL. That is called policy based. Other, we have routing based VPN. See, it's not wrong to say we have a policy based VPN or we have a routing based VPN. But also keep in mind, we are going for which vendor interview? I'm going for Palo Alto. In a Palo Alto, we don't call ACL. We don't call ACL over there. Then how would you represent? See, there also we create a policy, but don't call it as a ACL. Just say policy based. When you guys are with the Cisco based vendors, then you can call policy based means ACL. Use that word ACL. It will give a perfect meaning. Okay. Routing based VPN means what? Your routing table will decide what traffic will pass through the tunnel. Like in GRE, MGRE, DMVPN, what do we do? Routing table. Routing table can be default static or can be your dynamic routing protocols. Can be anything. Okay. So I can differentiate the VPNs based on policy based or routing based also. This is also the way of telling the types of VPNs. Did I tell anywhere side to side VPN or DM VPN? No, I told either L2 VPN, L3 VPN, or we told policy based VPN or a routing based VPN, or based on the security. If I tell you, I would say what's the current protocols that we use to implement a security? Either we have IPsec or we have SSL or TLS. These are the protocols. So based on protocols, if I say we have two types of VPNs, IPsec VPNs or a SSL or TLS. Under IPsec, what comes, that's a different thing. Under a TLS, what comes, that's a different thing. Or in which VPN I use, IPsec or where I use a TLS, it's a different thing. Site to site also IPsec can be used. Remote site also IPsec can be used. Multi-site also IPsec can be used. So different scenarios are there. So guys, in this way, you guys can tell a different types of VPNs. But if someone tries to know the name of this VPN, then you tell them the list of VPNs that we have. What are the list of VPNs? These are the list of VPNs. Okay, site-to-site VPN with the routers, with IPsec, between the firewalls, IPsec with IKEv1. So these are basically the VPNs that we configure. You guys getting point, right? So this is how you should tell about the VPNs. Okay, VPN is required whenever I need to protect my data. My protection of data can be without ISP also, with ISP also, or we can be within my intranet also. I told you about Get VPN, right? Get VPN, I told you about my intranet. Where is ISP? Right. So it's not about communicating over the ISP only. It's about securing your data. Wherever you feel you need a data protection, you can implement a VPN. Now, don't say like I'll create a VPN in this scenario. See, let's say I have one campus area. Let's say this is my compound, you can say. Here I have multiple buildings. I don't have much differences between these buildings. I can simply put the switches in between and I can make the connectivity between these. I'm not connected with the world. I'm not connected with the internet. I just need the local communication. I'm not worried about a data security also here. I just need a connectivity. In this scenario, do you need a VPN? I don't need. It's a local area communication. It's a LAN connection. I don't need a security in a LAN. Is anyone having disturbance, guys? Okay. Tirumalai, you should change your ISP. Okay. That's it, guys. Today we are just having an introduction. Nothing more we'll discuss. Okay. Tomorrow onwards we'll discuss more about the VPN. Okay. It was just an introduction class today. Tomorrow onwards we'll see more in depth. Okay. Okay. I'll see you guys tomorrow at the same time. Take care.